While we're all glued to the daily ups and downs of the market, there's this massive change happening kind of under the radar. It's like the entire financial system is getting a huge software update, a quiet revolution, really. And today, we're going to pull back that curtain and show you exactly what's going on. So, what's this all about? Well, it really boils down to just one thing: speed. Everything, and I mean everything, is getting faster. And that's not just a small tweak, it's changing the very fabric of how money moves. Think about it like this: the actual rails that finance runs on, they're being completely rewired right now. And this isn't some big, flashy event with fireworks. Nope, it's a steady, piece by piece upgrade. We're going to look at 3 stories today that seem totally unrelated, but trust me, they're all threads in the exact same tapestry. All right, let's dive into part 1. We're going to start at the very top of the food chain with the big institutions. And who's bigger than BlackRock, right? They're the world's largest asset manager, and they're trying to upgrade the entire financial engine from the inside. So the key piece of tech they're focused on is something called a tokenized ETF. Now, what does that even mean? Well, it's pretty straightforward, actually. You take a normal share of a fund, say an ETF, and you turn it into a digital token that lives on a blockchain. And why would you do that? The whole point is to make it so you can transfer it and settle the trade instantly. And this is where you really see the night and day difference. Right now, if you buy or sell a stock, it can take up to 2 whole business days to actually finalize. It's called T+2 settlement. It's kind of slow. But in this tokenized future that BlackRock is pushing for, that whole process happens in seconds. Just poof, it's done. It's literally like sending a text message. The leap in efficiency it's massive. Okay, so that leads to the big question, right? If this tech is so much better, so much faster, why isn't it already the standard? What's the holdup here? And here's the kicker. The problem isn't the technology. The tech is ready. The bottleneck? It's regulation. The rulebook just hasn't caught up to the innovation. You've got regulators trying to figure out, okay, how do we handle this? What about custody? What about protecting investors? All that stuff has to be written before this thing can really scale. There's this fantastic analogy that just nails the situation perfectly. Think of the NFL testing out AI referees. Everybody knows automation is the future, right? But nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to be the first team to lose the Super Bowl because the AI blew a call. That's exactly what's happening. BlackRock's on the field, helmet on, ready to go, but the refs, the regulators, they haven't blown the whistle to start the game. Okay, so that's the view from the top down. Now for part 2, let's flip it. Let's look at how this is building from the bottom up. We're moving from the institutional giants like BlackRock to the retail world. You know, how regular folks like you and me are getting access, all thanks to apps like Robinhood. Check out this number, 27 million. That's how many people have funded accounts on Robinhood. So when they decide to add something like BNB, which is one of the biggest digital assets in the world, it suddenly gives 27 million people super easy regulated access. The scale we're talking about here is just incredible. And make no mistake, this isn't just some little side hustle for Robinhood. Their revenue from crypto is absolutely exploding. It jumped more than 50% year over year just last quarter. So what does that tell you? It tells you this is becoming a central part of their business. So why does a move like this matter so much? Well, for starters, it yanks these assets out of niche internet forums and plops them right into the mainstream. It also just tightens that bond between fintech and crypto. They're becoming one and the same. And for you, the user, it's just simple. You can manage your stocks and your digital assets in the exact same app. That old wall between traditional finance and new finance, yeah, it's definitely crumbling. You know what this reminds me of? It's like when McDonald's finally started serving breakfast all day. Everybody wanted it for years. The demand was staring them in the face, but it took them a while to get the kitchen logistics right. This is the same thing. The retail demand for these assets was obvious, and now, finally, the infrastructure is there to make it happen. All right, so we've covered the big institutions and the retail investors. For our third and final part, we need to go deeper. We're talking about the plumbing, the actual pipes and wires that make all of this stuff work, the payment rails that businesses use every single day. So there's this company called Modern Treasury. Their whole job is to help other businesses handle complicated payments. They were already great at the old school stuff, ACH, wire transfers, you name it. But then they went out and bought a company called Beam, a specialist in stablecoin transfers. And what's the result? You get this one single platform where a business can move traditional dollars and digital dollars side by side without a hitch.
Now, to be clear, their mission hasn't changed. The goal is still the same: get value from point A to point B. It's the method that's been completely revolutionized.
And here's another great way to think about it. Imagine if your local postal service just suddenly switched to using drones for everything. The mission is the same, right? Deliver the mail. But the speed? It's a total game changer. That is exactly what Modern Treasury is doing for payments by plugging in stablecoins. Okay, let's step back for a second. We've looked at 3 different stories, right? A huge institution, a popular retail app, and a behind-the-scenes payment company. Each one is pretty interesting on its own, but when you put them all together, that's when you really start to see the big picture. That's when you see the quiet revolution in action. This is really where it all comes together. See, you've got BlackRock working on the institutional layer with their tokenized ETFs. You've got Robinhood opening the doors on the retail layer. And you've got Modern Treasury completely overhauling the pipes at the infrastructure layer. This isn't one isolated event. It's happening everywhere, at every single level, all at the same time. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. The big software update for money isn't some far-off prediction. It's happening right now. The whole system is being rewired to be faster, more connected, and more digital than ever before. And that leaves us with one final question for you. The entire financial system is being rewired right now, as we speak. So the only question left is, are you plugged in?